What's up guys, it's Topsy and welcome back to the channel. On my last video, we went ahead and covered and pretty much reacted to the release of the card pool for the upcoming SpeedDuel set, the Battle City Finals, and as a whole, I thought that it was a really cool set with a few problematic cards. But recently, we actually ended up getting released a few of the character skills for this upcoming set, those being both Yugi and Bakura, and I have a lot of thoughts regarding each of these character skills. So with all that being said, if you guys do end up enjoying today's video, then a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated. I am trying to get this channel to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and I can't do it without your help. So with all that being said, thank you very much, and let's dive right in. Okay then, so here I am on the Yu-Gi-Oh! News Twitter page, and we're going to be taking a look at Yugi Skills first, and then we'll move on to Bakura. So I'm assuming that the gold skill is going to be the primary skill, while the silver one is going to be the secondary. So I want to go ahead and begin with the primary first. I'm going to go ahead and give each of these skills a read, and then we'll go ahead and share my thoughts on each of them. So let's go ahead and begin. Sky God Revelation. This skill reads, when a level 10 monster with mystery attack is normal summoned to your field, each player can draw until they have 6 cards in their hand. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can activate one of these skills. Reveal one Slifer the Sky Dragon and place it at the bottom of the deck, then draw one card. Or, once per duel, discard one card and then add one Slifer the Sky Dragon from your deck to your hand. Okay then, very good skill. The second skill here we have is Ever Faithful Companion, and it reads, if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your hand. Once per duel, when you control a monster whose original name is Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, you can add one Dark Magician or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. And my goodness, I don't even know where to begin. Both of Yugi's skills are phenomenal. They are both very well crafted skills. So I want to go ahead and focus in on Sky God Revelation, the primary skill first, and I just want to go ahead and say first that I really like the way they adapted the effect of Card of Sanctity into a skill. I think it's done very well and does a lot for the Slifer deck, especially with the idea of establishing a Slifer the Sky Dragon and then getting to draw 6 cards, or until you have 6 cards in your hand, is very good. And not only that, but with the Arcana deck, the Arcana Joker deck that is, this makes it a lot easier, especially with the Joker Knight. All these things coming together make this skill very good, and the deck actually very much viable. But let's go and focus in on the secondary effects of the skill. The idea that you can just go ahead and mulligan Slifer the Sky Dragon into the deck so that you can then get it when you need it is amazing. Not only that, but it places Slifer at the bottom of the deck, making sure and ensuring that you don't accidentally draw it until you need it. But not only that, it also gives you the chance that once you actually need that Slifer the Sky Dragon and you don't have a way of getting access to it, you're able to go ahead and just add it to your hand by just pitching a card. Is really well done. Honestly, I don't think I would change anything particular about this skill. I think it does everything very well, besides just summoning the Slifer the Sky Dragon for free. Not only that, but I also like the fact that this skill is also really good because you're able to go ahead and use it with the Arcana Joker archetype as well, just because the additional effects only apply to Slifer the Sky Dragon, while the primary effect of being able to draw until you have 6 cards in your hand is for any monster that's level 10 with mystery attack. Needless to say, both Slifer and the boss monster of that deck both have that meet that criteria, which is awesome. Now, Ever Faithful Companion, on the other hand, is the skill that I particularly like better. Don't get me wrong, both skills are phenomenal, but in my opinion, I think I like the skill a lot more, and it's for one particular reason. I feel like going forward, Ever Faithful Companion is going to become the default skill for the Dark Magician deck. I don't really care about the Dark Magician Girl aspect of it, just because there isn't enough support to go ahead and shoehorn this as an actual deck, but as a pure Dark Magician strategy, this is phenomenal and gives the deck so much versatility. And my favorite part about this skill in particular is that one, it makes Dark Magician, like establishing a Dark Magician, incredibly easy, basically trivially easily, just because you're able to special summon it like Cyber Dragon. But the second thing that I love about this skill is that while you control Dark Magician, this makes it as to where you can get either Thousand Knives or Dark Magic Attack instantaneously. Because you're able to get access to Dark Magic Attack or Thousand Knives, this makes the deck a lot more powerful because you don't have to waste your limited slots in your deck for cards like Cosmic Cyclone or I don't know, maybe even like Sakuretsu armor. You can use it for other cards, just because you have cards in your main strategy that can kind of do that as well. And in particular, Dark Magic Attack is huge. Just be able to destroy all your opponent's back row is incredible. Very, very powerful. I can definitely see the Dark Magician deck becoming a going second strategy moving forward because of this skill. As a whole, I think both skills are incredible. Very, very good. But for me, I'm pretty big on Dark Magician. I've played it a lot in the past, and I think this is just a really, really good skill. And honestly, kudos to Konami. They gave a lot, and I mean a lot of love to Yui in this box, included in both the skills. So very, very good. In the comment section below, let me know which of these two skills did you like better. For me, as I said, Ever Faithful Companion, I think I like way more. Okay, so let's now go ahead and talk about Bakura. Okay then, so here we have Bakura with both his skills, Fear of the Dark and Malevolence of the Millennium Ring. So let's go ahead and begin with Fear of the Darkness. This skill reads, while Dark Necrofear is face up on the field, Destiny Board and Spirit Message cards are unaffected by your opponent's card effects. If a Spirit Message card would be placed on your field with Destiny Board, you can special summon it as a normal monster that's a Fiend, Dark, level 1 with 0 attack and defense instead. It can't be targeted for attacks, but it does not prevent your opponent from attacking you directly. Once per turn, you can reveal one Spirit Message card in your hand and place it at the bottom of the deck, then draw one card. Alright then. Malevolence of the Millennium Ring reads, once per turn, if you control a Fiend monster, you can activate one of these skills, but you can only use each of these skills once per duel. Send one Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard, then lose life points equal to its original level times 200. Or discard one Fiend monster, then lose life points equal to its original level times 200, then draw one card. So, where to begin here? Honestly, I don't love both the skills for Bakura, and not because they're bad per se, but because the decks that you're piloting for Bakura aren't particularly good, so you can't just get a mediocre skill for decks like these. If these skills were for a different strategy that was a lot more effective as to what it was trying to do on its own, these skills would be a lot better. But because we both have a skill for the Spirit Message board and for the Dark Necrofear, these skills are hindered a lot by this. So let's go and begin with the Fear of Darkness first. So my first big gripe with this skill is that in order to get the protection for Destiny board, you have to have an established Dark Necrofear on your field already. And that's easier said than done. Dark Necrofear, while not the hardest monster to summon, it's still not super easy, especially if you're playing this skill in order to, in the same deck you're playing Dark Necrofear. The thing is, in addition to that, I don't love the fact that you're tying protection to Destiny board to having Dark Necrofear on the field is not great. Just because the second your opponent sees that you're playing Spirit Messages and you don't have that Dark Necrofear, all they have to do is just destroy the Spirit Message F, and pretty much your strategy just falls apart immediately, and you have no real way of recovering it without any of the dedicated back row or support for the Dark Necrofear strategy, and that comes up with its own issues on its own as well. So honestly, I think this skill is very clunky in the way it works. The one thing I will give credit to is that I love the fact that it has the once per turn effect where you can mulligan one of your Spirit Message cards into the deck to draw a fresh new card. That's really, really good because you don't typically want to see any of these Spirit Message cards in your hand. So I'll give Konami kudos there. But besides that, I don't love the fact that we're tying protection to Dark Necrofear. I would have much rather they have some form of maintenance cost where instead of destroying a Destiny board card once per turn, you maybe paid some form of like maintenance cost, like I don't know, 500 life points, or you have to pitch a card from your hand in order to protect those cards. Something like that. I feel like that would have been a lot better. Or hell, even a skill that established Spirit Message, the Spirit Message F to get the whole combo started. Something like that. But the way this skill is pretty much made, I don't particularly like it. The best case scenario I can see for this skill is that it becomes like a gimmick strategy, but it's not going to be viable. At least I don't think. As for Malevolence of the Millennium Ring, I don't particularly dislike this skill, but my main issue with it is that you're not really accomplishing all that much with this skill. Granted, it makes playing Dark Necrofear a lot better, but In my opinion, Dark Necrophilia wasn't even a good boss monster to begin with. So I don't love the fact that in order to activate these effects, not only do you have to control a fiend monster on your field, but additionally you're also having to pay life points in order to send these cards to the graveyard. So that's kind of not great. Also, for the most part, at least to my knowledge, I don't think there's any fiend monster in the card pool right now, I could be wrong, that does anything in the graveyard immediately or at all in general. So sending a card like, let's say, Sangan from your hand or deck to the graveyard doesn't do anything for you, because in order to get the effect of Sangan, it needs to leave the field. So that's what I mean when I say that. That's why I don't particularly like the fact that you have to pay a maintenance cost in order to send these cards to the graveyard, because you're not really starting anything. I could be wrong, as I said. Maybe I'm missing like a staple fiend monster in the format that just kind of like pops off the second you're able to send it to the graveyard. So maybe there's that. But as I said, if these skills were for a different strategy, like let's say Malevolence of the Millennium Ring was for like a zombie strategy where you could just once per turn send either a zombie from your hand or your deck to the graveyard by paying the maintenance cost, this skill becomes incredibly, like, so much better. Or if it was for like a dragon or something like that. But because it's for fiends in particular, it's not as good. I do like the fact that you do get the draw effect when you pitch from hand, so that's kind of nice. But as a whole, both these skills are kind of underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. It's particularly just because of what they're trying to back up. These skills just don't do enough for them. But those are just my thoughts. In the comment section below, I'd love to hear. Do you think I'm being too harsh on these Bakura skills? Because I don't know, in my opinion, I wasn't really impressed with them. Alright guys, and those were pretty much my thoughts regarding the skills that we've gotten so far. If Yugi's skill tells us anything about the primary characters of the set, those being the Kaiba and Merrick alongside Yugi, in the direction they're taking with making their decks a lot more viable, then I'm very excited for when those skills come out. But if it's any indication of what they're going to end up doing with the other characters like Joey, Mai, Odeon, and Ishizu, if they're somehow like related to what they did with Bakura, then I'm a little less excited. Maybe that's a bit harsh to say, just because, as I said, Bakura skills weren't bad, they just were lacking for what they were for. So I don't know, there's that. But yeah, in the comment section below, let me know, do you think I was too harsh in Bakura? Do you think I glazed Yugi skills too much? I'd love to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you're excited to play any of these character decks in the upcoming set whenever it comes out to us in the TCG. Alright guys, and with that, I've been Topsy. If you guys did end up enjoying today's video, then why don't you like and subscribe to the channel? I make all sorts of SpeedDuel content, and I'm sure you'll find something here that you end up enjoying. So with all that being said, thanks so much for stopping by, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.